chuẩn bị online nha cả nhà. Rồi, chào mừng cả nhà mình đến với đường đua buổi chiều nay. Mình lesson 1, the formula of the source of life. Cỡ chữ là 30, tốc độ là 12 ha cả nhà. Rồi bây giờ là mình sẽ chuẩn bị mình nói ha. I am on track, I'm ready. Okay? Rồi, 1, 2, 3. Yes.
I'm on
track,
track.
ready.
Let's
Okay.
want
The
the
formula of
formula
the
of
source of life is including one. Currently, our society is being governed by three perspectives. First perspective is the scientific perspective. Second is the religious belief perspective, and the third is the perspective of morality principles. Regardless of where we live in the world, we are currently being influenced by three perspectives, and one of the laws that influences us greatly is the law of cause and effect and law of causal condition interaction. If we imagine our current life is our current result simply the outcome of the seed we sowed in the past, there's a formula called the formula of the source of life. What's this formula? Let's find out. Formula for desired outcomes. Good cause for conditions equal desired outcome. Therefore, if we want to create a desired future, shouldn't we focus on creating the good cause right in this present moment? It's knowledge, religion, and belief, science, and morality principles lead to one statement: we need to understand the root cause of a person's life of these three perspectives to be considered to have a thorough understanding of the cause. When standing under the scientific perspective, why do I have the result today? Standing under the religious and belief perspective, why do I have the result today? If standing under the perspective of morality principles, why do I have the result today? Let us thoroughly understand the cause from the scientific perspective to discuss the source of life of a person, religion and belief, morality principles, science, the formula for the source of life. Take a piece of paper and write out the word's result. At the bottom is circle the arrows leading to the result. If we had to choose one word that directly represents the result of life today, affects our life result, it would be choice. Experts give us the message that the choice directly affects the result of our lives today. But let's reflect. Is it true that the chain of choices we made in the past determines the result of our lives today? When we reflect, we often grant outside the right to choose the good things in life. However, when it comes to unpleasant things, the tendencies in our inner self is to attribute the choice to others. If we contemplate, even the desirable and undesirable situations in life are owing to our own choices, and we will understand that the source of life originates from ourselves. Therefore, the source of life originates from me, but it is not my fault. Why? Is it not my fault? It is because we didn't know any better. If our awareness had been better, we would not have made that choice. At that time, our awareness was only at that level, which led to no choice. Therefore, the choice we made at the exact moment was correct. This leads to a famous saying: if you want to change circumstances, change your personality. This explains that a person's repeatedly react with the same circumstances due to their wrong personality. However, we do not know what kind of personality is suitable for a good outcome. So, if we focus on changing personality, it is not the natural cause. It's because the specific personality trait dictates that the person's life will be good. Researchers studying well people found that one person became rich in one way and another in a different way. They had different personality. For any personality can potentially lead to wealth, but any personality can also lead to poverty. Ultimately, people realized that even if they changed their personality, they would know which one was appropriate. As focusing on changing personality is not the root cause, and the result will still repeat. If you don't change your personality,
Focus
you
on
don't
changing
change the
personality, you're
results.
not
Yet
going to get
focusing on
what
changing
we want.
personality
But if you
doesn't
don't
work
change your
because it
personality, then
isn't
you
a
don't
good
get your
cause.
result.
Experts
Just
inform
focusing
us that
on
a
changing
person's habit
personality and
created
focusing on
their
resulting.
personality. After
As
this
a result of that, the
realization,
person has
it
to create
started asking
personality.
her to focus on changing habits. Good
They
habits
started
will lead to a
focusing
good
on
personality, resulting in good choices. After some time, people discover that changing habits changes
people
personality,
discover
and
that
changing personality changes the
personality
results.
and changing
However, they
personality
realized
changes
that
the result.
are also not the
However,
root
they
cause.
realize
They
that habits are
investigated
also
further
not the root
and found
cause.
that a
They
person's
investigated
action
further
determine
and
their
found that the
habit.
person's
So they
action
say that
determines their
just
habit.
good
So
actions will lead to
they
good
say that
habits.
just good
Good habits
acting,
lead to good
good
personality, and good
habit leads to good
personality will lead to
personality,
a
and
good
good
destiny
personality
for a
lead
good
to
life
good
result. Following
life
this, they
results.
try to
Following
manage
the
people action,
they
but they
try to
discover that action will
but
still
they
rebate
discover
the
that
importance,
changing
and changing a
habits
person's action is
changing
very
a person
difficult.
action is very
They
difficult.
succeed in
They
changing the action,
succeeded
but
in changing
focusing
the
on
action,
changing
but
action
focus
is
on
not
changing
hard.
action
Even
is
to
not
the
hard.
experts provided
The
why
experts with the
they
research that the
decide that
person
a person's thought determines their
determine their
action.
action. They told
They
that
told us that good thoughts will
good
create
action
good
will result in
action
good
will
habit,
result in good habits, good habit will lead
personality,
to a good
and leads to the
personality,
final result.
which
Sorry.
then leads to the final result choice.
The
As
science,
the saying goes,
our
so
thought-driven action, so
thought-driven action,
the
so
habit, so the
action-driven
habit
habit.
driven
So
personality,
habit-driven
so a
personality, so
personality-driven destiny.
personality-driven
In
destiny.
time, we'll
In
focus
time,
on
we're
having
focused on how
cultivate a good
people
mindset.
could
Is good.
cultivate a good mindset and
However,
good thoughts.
so through
However,
deep,
through deeper
deeper
research
research
over
over
time,
time, we
people
discover
discover
that
that
even
even
when
when
they
they
try
try
to
to
control
control
their
their
thought,
thoughts,
negative thoughts
negative thoughts
still
still repeatedly emerge
in their
in
lives,
their
still
life.
thoughts
The
are
thoughts
always
was
present in their
always
mind,
present in
and
their minds. They
what
began to
determine a person's
investigate
thought.
what determines a
Focus
person's
on
thoughts.
thoughts, a
By
person
focusing on thoughts, a person
continues
continues to
negative
repeat
thoughts in
negative
life.
thoughts in life.
Questions is
The
raised.
question is raised what shapes a person's thought, high level mental and
To
quantum
us,
outlook.
messages is
Does
that
the belief
belief, that
shape
type
their
of
thoughts?
belief
Every belief,
essentially
essentially human
always
always
believe about
hold a
something.
belief about
Belief can be
something.
changed
Belief
at
can be
time
counter to their
or it
desire
cannot
or
be like
aligned with their desire.
so as
This
a
is
positive
also
or
known
negative
as a
belief. For
positive or
example,
negative belief. For example, someone says, I keep trying to
okay,
lose weight, but I can't
some
lose
say
any.
if
I'm
I
so
keep lose weight
discouraged.
but I can't lose
Trying, but
any,
it doesn't work. Normally, our
discouraged.
thinking
I keep
assesses that
eating
they
but
lack
it
the
didn't
belief
work.
in their ability to lose weight.
Normally,
However, the deeper truth is that the person holds the belief that they are
the weight
very
is
fat
however the
and will
deeper
never
truth is
be
that
able to
person
become
holds the
thin.
belief that they are very
Whatever
fat
belief
and
a
they never
person holds,
become
their life
thin.
result will
Whatever
form
belief a
accordingly.
person
This
holds,
is
the life
because
result will
belief
form accordingly. This
directly
is because
affects the
belief
choices,
directly
and
affects the
whatever
choices.
belief is held, the result
Belief is
manifests.
so
We hold the
that
belief
the
that we
result
cannot do
manifests.
something, the
We hold a
result is
belief
what
that
we
we cannot
cannot
do
do.
something. The
Human
result
belief
is
does not have a
human belief
99%
cannot have a
concept. Belief
99%
is
concept.
100%
Belief is
conviction that we hold the
100%
belief. The
conviction
difference
that we
lies
hold the
only in
belief.
the
The difference
direction of
lies
that belief,
only
whether it
in that
aligns
belief.
with or go against the desire.
Like
If
the
human
against the
need is
design.
knowledge, it
If
would be
human
wonderful
have
to
no
search.
desire, it would be
If
wonderful.
someone
So
believes
if
I'm
someone
not
believes
beautiful,
I'm not
no
beautiful,
matter what I
what
do,
I
I'm
do,
not
I'm not
beautiful.
beautiful.
The
Result
result
is
is that
that
the
the
person
person
believes they
believe
are
they are
ugly.
ugly. So
So
nothing
nothing they do
they
make them
imitate.
beautiful.
Therefore,
Therefore, some
some
people imitate
others
others and go for
job,
nose jobs.
but
Then in the
the
belief
belief of
is
what they
that
are
an
ugly.
ugly person
Getting
getting
a
a
nose
nose job,
with
the
final
something
result is going to
result
damage
in them damaging
their
their nose.
self-esteem.
Conversely, a
A person
person who
who
already
already believe
believes
that
they
they are
are
beautiful,
beautiful, when
they
they
get
get
a
a
bunch of
procedure,
they
it makes
become more
them
beautiful.
very even more
People
beautiful.
who hold the
Who
belief
hold the
that they
beliefs
are
they are
healthy
happy,
become
become
happier
happier
when
when they
they
get
get married.
married. Conversely, we hold the
If we
belief that
believe
we are
that we are
miserable, that
and whoever
whoever
we marry
marry we
will
feel
remain
man
miserable.
is
There was a
miserable.
story
There
about a
was a
woman
story about a
whose
woman
husband
whose
got
husband
miserable.
was launching a book. He was a famous self-development trainer.
Because
Reporter instead of interviewing him, play a thought trick to a turn in flight, asking her, asking his very much self-development trainer, and he has helped my men
become
in
happy,
change
but
their life and
honestly,
become happy. But honestly, has it
the
brought
woman's
happiness to you? The woman answered
men were
immediately, no.
aroused.
Everyone aroused was
Wonder
alarmed,
why
wondering why
said
she
that.
said
One
that,
will
and if it would
damage her
damage
husband's
her
reputation.
husband's reputation.
Another
Now the
reporter
reporter pressed on,
so
asking, "Oh,
a
has
happier
your
husband.
husband
The
truly
reporter
brought you a happy
happy
life
from
result?"
that
And she
result.
said
Then she said
no.
no.
Then now
Then
the person
another
skillfully
person
asked
skillfully
a more
asked
open-ended
more
question.
open-ended
woman smile and replied, how can a man bring happiness to a woman? A woman must have happiness on her own. Only then can man bring her
and then
more
can a man
happiness.
bring her
He
more
hasn't brought
happiness?
me happiness.
Hasn't got me happiness.
Must be a
Must be
happy person, and he's
He is
just
the one who
the
brings
one who
more.
brings me more happiness. Internally, we take the belief that
other loves us.
other
We
loves us.
don't
We
believe
don't
our
believe
husband
our
or
husband
children
or
love us.
children love
So
us.
we try
So
to
we
demand
strive
their
to
love.
to demand their love. And what the resulting outcome? We call it donors love it. Positively, we like to believe, so we don't see the result externally. Therefore, we only need to change our inner belief system to change the result. There is a concept we need to grasp: the inner belief versus the conscious desire. Example, when a woman or a man gets married, they expect the marriage to be harmonious and happy. However, deep down, some people inner belief does not include a harmonious and happy marriage. So the conscious desire is a harmonious and happy marriage. If the inner belief contradicts the result is that the inner belief always triumph over the conscious desire. If the inner belief and the conscious desire are unified, as the component from the conscious desire usually aim for good things. For example, a happy marriage, success in work, and good relationship with people. Almost everyone wishes for positive outcome. If the conscious desire is unified with the inner belief, the human life will transform. If humans go at this point between thoughts and belief, it's a crucial gateway for the present mindset and the person's inner subconscious, which often conflict with each other. Ultimately, the inner self, self-will. Humans try to use their conscious mindset to change the inner self, and science often favors this approach. Science will entirely correct the life people. Science will be able one would. However, the scientific perspective shows us that the inner belief are what determine the result. Therefore, we must change the belief system to change result. Merely thinking about it internally, it will not change the result. However, belief is also the root cause. So changing belief doesn't suffice. We don't know why to trust a certain person. So we raise the next question: what determines a person's belief? What is a person's mental image? The seeds of mental image are momentality. It determines their belief. The seeds of mental images in our mind determines our belief. Determine the results of our life called mental image. Let's coordinate on a small exercise. Choose two people closer to us, two people we feel most familiar with. Without thinking right, that means vertically on both sides. Then instantly choose 5 words and spoken the mental image or feeling and emotion about that person. You can start and do this exercise here and then continue reading, because we have that seed of mental image in our heart. Project a result of our lives. We see our father as handsome, funny, or gentle. Sometimes other people might not see his gentleness. They might be even see him as strict. Yet we see him as gentle. In our eyes, even when he sleeps, we might perceive him as illusion. Why? Because we must be tired, which is why we but if the seed of mental images we hold our father is laziness, then even she's working in mindset and look at that lazy attitude, the result of external life are projecting seeds of mental images in our mind. The story of a pen. Let us follow this story from Geshe Roach. Imagine we are holding an object and frequently used perhaps a pen or writing tool. Now consider another creator, very intelligent animal living in our house, a puppy. When we see this, we call it a pen or writing instrument because we use it to write. But when the puppy encounters this object, it chews on it. The puppy's action on chewing makes the puppy perceives this object as a bone or a toy, which is why it chews. If the puppy perceives it as a pen, it would use it to write. When we see this object, we call it a pen because we visualizing using to write. What about the puppy? It proceeds to knock and chew on it, perceives this as a toy or which is why, in opinion, the puppy perceives it as a bone or a toy, and we perceive it as a pen or writing instrument. Both are correct. Now let's put that object in the room. No one is there, neither us or people. If no one is here, what is each object? Nothing at all. It's not that it doesn't exist, but because there's no subject perceiving it, no subject cognizing it, no subject feeling it, and that moment is nothing, because nothing does not mean it doesn't exist. All things have the nature emptiness. All things have the nature of emptiness potentially. It is nothing when there is no subject perceiving it. What it is created by the subject that perceives it. The subject that perceives it comes step in. We look at that the At that moment, it is a pen, but if a dog step in, it will perceive it as a toy or ball.
But a dog
The
step in,
and the puppy tap in at the same time. For us, it is a pen. The puppy is a ball. So, specific question arises: what determines the nature of an object? It is determined by the external nature affecting us, or is reflected from within us to the outside. We find that the nature of this object is determined by what is within us. The seeds of mental images in our mind that dictates what this object is. The seeds of mental images in our mind project outward to manifest that reality. Earlier we said our father is a gentle person, essentially the father is neither gentle nor anyone. Because we have that mental image inside, it projects outward. Our father being gentle, diligent, or complaining is based on our cognition of hidden images because we hold the seeds of mental images about the father, what we perceive in mental images with the person determine mean and result and reflects the external bright reality. Therefore, the world we perceive is based on the mental images they hold. So if we want to change the external world, or in other words, if we want to change our destiny according to scientific perspective, changing the mental images, then destiny is changing the mental images, changing destiny, changing the mental image, changing destiny. The tendency of our tendency of our inner psychological life is very interesting. The longer people live together, if a person does not nurture and enlarge the positive mental images they hold about their loved ones, negative images will manifest. This is a miraculous phenomenon of the principle of light and darkness. The principle of light states that the closer we live to someone, it will not enlarge the positive images we have of them. Unfolding pleasant image will enlarge in our mind. That is why when we first meet someone, we tend to hold the most mental images of other, but the longer we live together, we fail to enlarge the positive image. When pleasant this image will manifest, thus undesirable reality often occurs in social relationships, visiting folks like neighbors, wife better, the neighbor's child is better than mine, someone else's husband is better, my husband is not good, other people's wives are beautiful, other people's wives are good. And because we all need that neighbor's husbands or wife briefly and we can see beautiful any, but our own husband or wife is around all the time, and because we don't know to enlarge the positive images, we see the poor images. We only need to change the image toward the direction we desire to orient our image toward what we want. If we hold good and beautiful image about them, it will automatically change, and the result will change at an instant. Therefore, if a person can maintain beautiful images of loved ones, especially positive images of people, we change our entire fate condition regarding people, maintaining a good images of ourselves, maintaining a good image of social relationship, maintaining a good image of ourselves and our inner self, maintaining a good image in our finance, changing the mental images, changing destiny. You only need to have one simple realization according to scientific perspective, the source of time originates from the mental image in our mind. You only need to remember one thing: the seeds of mental image in our mind determine the result of our life. This leads to a profound saying: if one and every matter should begin with the result, every matter should begin with the result. Because the simplest way to achieve anything we are about to do start from the result. For example, why it is so difficult for a person to marry happy, because we do not start the marriage by complaining the part of marriage. We have our often based on opposing those around us. Our mind hold the image of the bad marriage result. So when we start, we already have the result. Or human in that sort from the start. When the destination is seen, there's no need to rush. If the destination is seen, why rush? Start with the result of our journey. We change it. It's like knowing where we are going, no matter we get there. Don't know how, know where our destination is, even we are easily small moments can reach the destination. Thus, every matter should begin with the result of the mental images in our mind. Therefore, simply changing the mental images changes destiny. This image is clear. Our life becomes cleaner, and hence every matter begins with the result. So we can concluded that the
associated moment,
scientific
effect of
perspective at
mental
this
images in
moment,
our mind
series
determines
of
the result
mental
of our life.
images in our mind
The
determine the
result is
result
raised
of
what
our life.
determines the mental
Now the
images in
question
our
is
mind.
raised, what
Is
determines the
because
mental images in our mind?
those
This is
images
because those
appears
images appear
spontaneously in our
spontaneously
head.
in our
What we
heart.
hear, see,
What
and know
we
determine the
say and
mental
know
images in our mind.
determines the
It
mental image in
especially
our
concerns
mind. It's
impressions that we
especially
find,
what we
believe,
hear and
what we
see and we
hear, what we
say and
see,
we
what we
know
say,
and
what we know
determines
that
our
determine our
mental
mental
images.
images.
And
And
we
when
are
we
struggling with the
most of
most
the time
tough
our
one is knowing that detrimental to the future.
knowing
Currently,
that
the knowing
that
regarding marriage is
behind
highly
that
detrimental
detrimental
to
to the
the
mental
mental
image we
images
have.
we hold.
Most of
Most of the
images
images
are
are negative. The knowing
negative. The
regarding this
knowing that is
education gives
education
us
gives images that
images that are
are
not
not
very
very
positive.
possible.
The knowing about his
Knowing
life,
about
the
his
knowing
life, the
about
knowing about
people gives
people, giving us
us these advantageous
disadvantages
images of people.
images of
If we
people.
have about
Knowing
careers and business, it's like
experience in
making
life
things
is increasingly
increasingly arduous, especially our
especially
knowing
our
about
knowing about
health is
health is
knowing about
influence us from
influence
birth
from
now because
birth
according to
until
the
now.
scientific
Because
perspective, we cannot say
according to
about
the
the time we
scientific
were. So
perspective,
from the
we cannot
moment we
say
were
about
born,
the time before
what we know,
birth.
what we see, what we say, what we
Women
do,
are
what we
born
hear,
until what we
influence
know,
our
see,
mental
say, and
images.
now we are
Even in our
influences our mental
village
image.
or
We live
lineage,
a three
where
type
the
of
average
lineage
lifespan of
or
people is
lineage
about
where our average lifespan for
100
people is between
and
121
160 years.
160 years, and
Real
good
old and
old
worse
and describe it
60
with
years old.
60 years old.
Or would we
Or would
still
we
know
still
about
feel like
youth? What do we
in
know
early
about health? What
youth?
we hear
What
about
do you
health? What
know
we see
about
about
health?
health?
What
What
we
we say
hear
about
about
health?
health?
It
What we
can
see
sort of
about health? What we say
leave an
about health
influence
is
of
different
our life in
because we live in
society.
a village
Average
lineage
lifespan
where
60 or
average
70 years.
lifespan is 60
Later
or
case
70
people around
years in the
60 years
latest
old
span.
are
People
mostly
are 60
endowed
years
with
old
being
are mostly
they're like
now
happy-go-lucky
60
and
and ones
like
like
in the
feel
lineage
like
where
we were
the
about to
average
go close to
income
heaven.
of
We
the
live in a lineage where
one
the average
around
month's
million
income
income
goes around
thirty
$1
4
million,
million.
no less than
So how do we feel
how would you
today? If
feel
your income is 200
today,
million, you have
100
to
million
so. So
ND?
what we
How
see,
would you
say
feel?
and
So
know
what we
determine
hear,
our
see,
mental
say, and know
images is
determines our
internal
mental image.
in a
But the
successful
entire
of 49 will have
20 million or
30
30
million.
million VND, how would we feel
So
with
how would we
an
feel when
income
we
of
have
200 million
200?
VND? Right,
Wonderful,
if
right?
only one
If
star
only one
appears
star
in the
appear in the
sky
sky
in
in
the
the future,
future,
it will
constant and
there will
nation
be
of
a
South
death
will
in society. But
therefore
from
in
what we see,
society when someone achieves
wonderful
something
and
wonderful for
success
himself,
is
it
that.
will lead
So
to a
it
change
will
of
still a
style
change of
emerging. When
change
people
that
hear, see, say, and know,
cannot
and graduate
abruptly
to change
change according to
accordingly,
society
we
and
will
then
change the
change the
image
image
of society. At this time, achieving peace
time
and
changing
joy
peace
is
and joy is
difficult,
important
and
than
being
peace.
angry in the
And
future,
because
someone will
according to
say that
society, as
passive wealth
according
is
to what we
simpler than
see
all
than
power
the
gradually.
traveling, what
What
people
people
see
here see,
and know
say, and
about
know will
change in
change,
society
and
is under the
society will
control of peace. If only a few people thoroughly understand life, society will be
if only a few
understand
people
life.
thoroughly understand society, will
Then
also understand life, because what is
change in
here see spoken down
the
consumer
study
change.
about
Never
behavior
Chinese
of
story about
very
social
hungry
studying.
monkey. The monkey
Monkey,
loves
the
sweet
monkey
potatoes,
loves sweet
but
potatoes. Society gave them
potato, but
sweet
first
potatoes, but
some innocent
sorry,
observe
don't
that
understand
reaction
to
of the
observe their
when it
rejection.
later, but
The
how
monkey like us
disappointed, yet they still still.
and
One
unpleasant,
beautiful day, a
but they
female
still
monkey
have to eat.
accidentally her
What
sweet
beautiful day
potato
a
into the
female
wood and
monkey
pick it up
accidentally
as
she know was
option. And
potato.
all she
Before
knew
eating,
that
she
the
taught
potato
her
was
father,
sweet for
mother, and
eating.
spearing
Mother
gradually
accidentally
her
invited
family taught the
family,
surrounding family.
surrounding
Scientists
family, society, and
scientists
my
make
families
every monkey that
um,
learned the washing method.
monkey
On
that
the
learned washing
100th
method.
monkey
When
was
the
freed. So one surprise
when
happened,
reach
that
something
monkey has not been
surprising
in
happen, that
contact with
monkey have been
anyone,
in contact with
other monkey,
any
and had
other
never been taught
monkey and have
how
never
to
been
wash
taught
the
how to wash
potato.
potato. But
But when
the
even the
potato
potato is
spontaneously went to the water and
quantitatively
wash it.
when washed from
Obviously, all
as
monkey
new
from the
into
hundred,
it, the
and one will have
phenomenon even
do it.
spread to
Number
other
100 will
islands
that
despite
love by the
geographic
the
distance where monkeys could not
monkey
pass from. Also knew how the
our
potato
society
would
and society
potato.
will
A person's life, a society will
when we see
continuously
what we
transform when we
hear,
change
see,
the hear, see,
say
say,
and
and
know,
know,
and change the
and change
mental
the
images
mental
of
image
our
of
future
future. This alive of condition
conditions
is
will
where
help other
other
change in
change
the
the
future.
future
So
is where.
therefore,
Therefore,
when
when
living in a
living in a
family, we are
family, we
determined
are
to change
determined to
ourselves
transform
over
ourselves
time
first
as
over time as our mental images change. When you finding ourselves, those of
adult
us,
around us, the family of
the
God.
family of
There is no need to
ultimately
see
changes
change.
too.
No need to change.
There is no need to see
Another,
the
just
changing under,
ourselves.
just focus on
Me
changing
changing our
ourselves. This
mental
means
image
changing
about
our mental
ourselves
image
and our loved one.
ourselves and
This
our
means
loved one. This
changing
means
our
changing our
knowing
know
about
about
ourselves
Họ knowing about humanity and
about laws of
the
cause
law
and
of cause and condition
how
and
cause,
result.
condition,
This
and
is
result
how we
and how we
change the
change
image, and
the image,
subsequently we
and
change what we
subsequently we
say.
change what
The
we
formula
say.
for
The
changing the
formula
image control
control
over
what we
here, and
hear
see
and
change
see,
what we
change
say
what we
now.
say now,
Then
and
we
then step
change destiny. First we change the
change the
knowing, then
knowing,
we
then
change
we change
feeling,
saying
then
and
control
control
hearing,
hearing and
seeing,
saying,
gradually
seeing,
changing the
gradually
mental
changing the
images,
mental
changes
and destiny.
Oh.
Oh, yeah, I finished my lab.
Không